Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklarbro Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods.
AKA one flannel, one coat, lots of jokes in a moat.
No. AKA gotta plug a bolt of Max Glee for the snug gold that claps agree. Go watch Doug Culp on Haps TV.
Hey!
There you go. I love our friend Doug Culp. Follow him at
Who wrote that one?
Doug-a-thon. That was Huddletron. Huddletron. The community helping out, and I love when the community gets together and we get to hear you guys on the Stereo app.
So much fun.
Follow me, follow Jay. If you haven't downloaded the Stereo app, do so. Follow the two of us, and we do conversations, literally like after conversations of these pods, but talk about the biggest issues of the day. On Mondays and Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We do Dumb People Town Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Friday, Sports Talk Friday, Sports Open Line, 3 p.m. Going into the weekend. Thank you to everyone who came to our live stand-up show and Cheap Seat show. Amazing to have you guys there this past weekend. Really fun show, and we're going to do more of those.
Blast.
So I love it. Let's jump into this story, okay?
All right, I love how the narrative from the right-wing media is that people who participated in Black Lives Matter rallies and the protests last summer were out of control.
Just out of control.
According to Tucker Carlson, they were terrorists who were hell-bent on destroying everything.
A violent mob.
Intent on destroying our institutions. I wonder how he described the Capitol riots, man.
They used restraint.
Yeah, they were respectful, right?
There was no looting or damage.
So you got it backwards, Tucker. And everyone like you got it backwards.
Yeah.
The people who looted the Capitol tried to derail
and destroy our democracy, really.
That's worse than breaking windows at a liquor store. I'm sorry. It just is.
Or at a Target.
Both are bad. Both are bad. There's degrees. There are degrees of what is worse.
Right.
There's no insurance money that covers the cost of inciting a portion of our country into an insurrection. You can't call up and suddenly get those funds
From
back and replace the windows.
That's right.
We don't get that back. We crossed a line. And you got to watch out for these Q folks. You have to. You have to watch them.
Nothing is sacred to them. Nothing. Absolutely.
They will deface anything and everything in the name of their organization, even the American Stonehenge.
Quick question. So we will not be playing Stonehenge?
No, we're not fucking playing Stonehenge.
American Stonehenge.
Let's get into the story.
Let's do it.
Once
again, it shows how dumb these people are.
Yeah, and how they leave open clues that like even a kid detective on like a Disney XD show could figure it out.
Encyclopedia Brown would have already figured this out.
It's almost like so dumb that if you wrote it into a script, the notes you'd get back from executives would be like, this is too
This
convenient.
doesn't feel earned.
It's too easy for them to find it. Make the people who are searching for them work more. All right. Police have made an arrest following a 15-month-long investigation into vandalism at a group of rock configurations in New Hampshire called American Stonehenge.
America's Stonehenge.
America's Stonehenge.
Not American Stonehenge. America's Stonehenge.
This reminds me of the Alabama fan who
poisoned the trees at Toomey Square.
Toomey Corner.
Toomey Corner.
Which is a famous square. Two giant weeping willows in a famous square at Auburn University. So this rabid, stupid Alabama
Crimson
fan.
Tide fan.
Like a dude in his 60s. He killed, like poisoned 200-year-old trees.
And they died.
All because he loved a football team. That's what this feels like to me.
Exactly.
Mark Russo, 51. Did that sound old when we were younger?
Yes. Is it old to us right now?
2 years old to us. Mark Russo, 51, of Swedesboro, Jersey, had been charged with 1 count of felony criminal mischief.
Can't say I agree with this.
Criminal mischief makes it sound like it was fun.
It makes it sound frivolous what he did.
And it's not frivolous what he did.
Mark Russo just sounds dumb.
He sounds dumb. Like he's 51 and makes everyone call him Russo.
Like he always burns microwave popcorn. Like he always puts it in for 4.5 minutes.
You're like, dude, it's 2 minutes and you've got
3
enough.
minutes, see where you're at and maybe add another 30 seconds.
Like he's hit 4 cars while driving drunk and never left a note.
Yeah, he litters regularly. Still.
This is who Mark Russo is. His favorite band is Limp Bizkit.
He has never worn a mask.
He wears True Religion jeans still.
He thinks global warming is a hoax.
He's eaten at Hardee's 4 times in the last 2 weeks.
An awful person.
This is an awful person, Mark Russo. And he's accused of defacing the stone in Salem in September of 2019. So America's Stonehenge.
America's Stonehenge.
A lawyer entered a not guilty plea on his behalf Tuesday.
Not his fault.
after you see the evidence against him, I have no idea why this guy's offering a not guilty plea.
I'll tell you why.
Tell me
Because
why.
he's a QAnon cult member.
A Trump follower,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And rather than admitting the mistakes
I'll
that you
get
made,
off when Trump becomes the president again.
copping to the damage that you created. That's their MO, is to lie and be bitter and just take it all the way till the end.
That's right.
And hope that eventually the other side just gets tired of fighting you.
They're not going to get tired. They're just going to find new stuff.
Police said the rock tablet appeared to have been damaged by a power tool and a human tool.
There you go. I would call him a human tool, and I would call him a powerless tool right
It was
now.
carved with WWG1WGA and I am Mark.
Idiot!
Police said the first stands for where we go one, we go all. That's a motto. That's a
QAnon conspiracy theory, yeah.
Which, by the way, is so dumb. Nothing culty about that philosophy as well. That's one way to eliminate dissent.
Yeah, just make your motto about complete and total conformity.
Yes. And does that suggest that wherever one of them goes, they all go?
Yeah.
So no matter who the member, no matter what they're getting into, you all got to go
Everyone's
got to
go. Yeah, you are as strong or as weak as your dumbest link.
As your dumbest link's
Just
desires
understand
to
that.
go. So if you all have to go, where
all
one
gotta go.
goes, you all go.
One goes, you all go.
This feels like it could blow up in their faces.
I love it so much.
I
It's
feel
so
like there are at
disturbing.
least a couple of QAnon members who want to have sex with horses. Do you,
You got to
all?
go there. You got to go there.
Do you all have to go do that?
Unzip, bend over, and get ready.
Where we all go, where one of us goes,
we all go.
An 18-inch, 45-centimeter tall wooden cross was found suspended between two trees, and attached to the cross were several photographs and hand-drawn images.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
This is a monument. It doesn't need your stupid decoration on top of it.
Yeah, no need to spruce it up with your crosses, Russo.
No one asked you to contribute to America's Stonehenge.
That's right. It's in New Hampshire, and you're from New Jersey. Get out of New Hampshire.
And he just done that and gone back and told a few friends at a barbecue.
He'd be walking free right now.
He might
because
be.
someone would take it down and be like, get this shit out of
He
here.
had to boast about it, post it
online.
That's
right.
how he
this
got
is how
got.
This is how
This is
you
how they're all getting
provide
got.
the evidence.
Police arrested Russo after finding images of the stone and Russo online, linking him to an I Am Mark Twitter account.
Yeah, so he wrote it in the thing, and he has a Twitter account.
And he showed the pictures, and he wrote with a reference to, quote, a few improvements, unquote, made to the site.
Okay, so he used a power tool to carve the name I Am Mark.
And that's his Twitter handle?
Yeah.
Well, that must have been hard to find him.
Was that like an 8-second Google search right there that connected you to this idiot?
And holy crap, there's evidence on his Twitter feed
that he's bragging about
what he just did.
It's not like a coincidence. You can't say like, I found that. What a coincidence.
Yeah, the cops were probably like, dude, just please make it harder. Like, make us connect
This is
two dots.
too easy.
This is, I can't.
Now I got to work on some cold cases that I don't think I'll be able to solve.
Images on the cross were also linked to Russo. He left photos of himself at the scene of the crime. What a dipshit. Bail was sent at $3,000 cash.
Sent at or set at?
Set at $3,000 cash for Russo, who is scheduled for a hearing on April 21st. And by the way, need to remind everyone one more time that he is pleading not guilty. So bragged about it on Twitter.
Had a Twitter handle with
That
the
matches
same
the thing.
inscription.
Photos of him on the cross that he left hanging there. And he said, made some improvements.
Not guilty.
And then this, I love how, by the way, should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's
And then
take a break.
before we take a break, we're going to get to the end of the article. When we
Yes.
take a break, we'll get to the end of the
And
article.
how we feel about this whole thing. This is a blast. We love doing these for you guys. We're going to take a break. We'll come back on the other side.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. The next up for us is the live Dumb People Town. So excited for that. That's
April
on
10th.
April 10th. Ryan Sickler, one of our favorite guests that we've ever had, and the Cactus Blossoms. Ryan Sickler has a great podcast called The Honeydew, where people go on and tell stories of the worst moments of their lives. So you know the stories that we're going to dig up from Dumb People Town are going to have honeydew all over
It's
it.
going to be the Honey Dumb.
The Honey Dumb, and then the Cactus Blossoms are just one of the best bands from Minneapolis, St. Paul area, the Twin Cities. They are so good. They're kind of like Hank Williams Sr., but today. Young kids who just sound amazing. So you will definitely want to get your tickets for that, eventbrite.com. And we'll see you there on April 10th. Let's get into this. When we left, this guy, this idiot,
Mark Russo, 51 years old.
used power tools to defame America's Stonehenge, which is in New Hampshire, and write, I am Mark on it.
Which it happens to be his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
And then he also bragged about making some improvements. And then he's pleading not guilty.
And there are also pictures of him at the scene of the crime. He pleaded not guilty. All right.
America Stonehenge. All right. This is how they love. I love how they ended the article with this America Stonehenge fun fact.
Here we go.
America Stonehenge, which features cave-like granite enclosures, has drawn believers who say it's 1,000 or more years old, and skeptics who say the evidence suggests it was the work of a 19th century shoemaker.
So if we can't come together
On what America Stonehenge is,
we will never come together. Let
me just guess. Let me just guess. The believers who say that it's over 1,000 years old, those are QAnon.
Exactly. And that maybe it was dropped by aliens.
And the rest of the world is trusting the evidence that clearly states that it was created by a 19th century shoemaker.
Got to be a shoemaker.
That's where it gets its soul. Thank you. I'll show myself on it.
At this point, you yourself have to get out
Right,
of here.
but isn't that the thing about so I don't understand about this is what I don't understand about QAnon, because it feels like at times it's like a joke. It's like these little silly
Oprah
puzzles.
was CGI'd in her interview with Meghan Markle, and
It's like,
Prince
what is
Harry.
the craziest
Thing
It's
that we
almost
can
like a
think of?
joke. Like, what is the craziest thing that we can say, and let's see if people will buy into it.
There aren't two, like the Sklar brothers aren't twins, they're married. I mean, to me, you know what QAnon is essentially taken over? Like the National Enquirer.
It is.
It is, and
it makes sense because Trump
Trump's
was like
best
so
friend.
in bed with the National
That's
Enquirer.
right. That's right.
So it is the National Enquirer. It's like, boy, like Joe Biden is alien who ate his own foot, and you're like, well, all these people are like, well, there's all the signs. Look, when he coughed and nothing came out, then that shows that he's not a human. And so all these people are like, they're lizard people, and you're like, wait.
no. If you saw that on the front of the National Enquirer as you're walking by, you're like, these are the stories that make the National Enquirer not credible.
Right.
These are the stories that make you say, this is ridiculous. And anybody, if you saw anyone buy the National Enquirer app, you would look at them
and read it and be like, this is where I get my news, guys. This is where I get my news.
That's essentially it. Like, I actually think the National Enquirer has more news in it that is relevant than QAnon.
Yes.
So if you're getting your news from QAnon, you're doing worse than the National Enquirer.
Step up to the National Enquirer and then join the real news. That's
right.
what you can do.
That's right. You can like take a baby step. We're not even saying come back to step to the National Enquirer, then take a tiny step back and go to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Post, and then take a step forward and go to the Washington Post.
Or the New York Times. Or the Washington Times. Sorry.
Yeah, Washington Times.
All right. There we go.
That is a show,
you guys are fantastic. That's a show. Thanks again for coming out to the show on Saturday night.
Love it.
You guys see you guys get your tickets for Ryan Sickler on April 10th. And
stay connected, stay protected, don't get infected. This is not a hoax.
But we got the jokes.
Wear a mask, get vaccinated. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.